Hi folks, today's adventure is going to take us east of the town of Lyons. We're going to venture along Peters Road where we're going to encounter Loch 54 at a little town called Loch Berlin. Beyond that, we're going to go through the town of Clyde, and down the road we're going to encounter one of the greatest well-preserved foundations from the 1862 Erie Canal. We may even get a glimpse of some of the original Clinton's Ditch. So come along and enjoy. Here at Loch Berlin Park on Peters Road, Clyde, New York. So we are in between Lyons and the town of Clyde. And we're approaching the double lock system, Loch 54. There's an old photo of the lock. And we'll walk up here and take a closer look. And there it is. Most of this is behind a fence. It's going to be a little hard to see. And one other thing, there's a foundation of a building. This was probably the lock tender's house. According to this old sketch of the area, here's the lock that we're looking at up there. Out in front was a house. So the foundation we just looked at was probably for this house. And down below there was a barn. And I almost missed it, but right over here is a foundation. Probably for that barn. Yeah, I bet this was the barn foundation in that sketch. And the house was farther up that way. Okay, moving on. I'm just to the east of the loch we saw, and I've noticed this interesting sign here. There was a canal fight. A deadly brawl occurred here on July 1844 between crews of canal boats, Patriot and Texas, as they vied for lead position at the canal lock. A deadly brawl. That's crazy. And just beyond it, on this road, I noticed this one-lane culvert. Well, a one-lane culvert road going under the CSX railroad. We're going to take a cruise through this tunnel. Pretty neat. We're now in the town of Montezuma, and we've stopped at the Montezuma Heritage Park. To our left, we see the 1862 Erie Canal. We're going to go down this trail, take a look at the sights. Walking along this trail, we've come to a signboard. It says in front of us is the original Clinton's Ditch from 1819. And that is part of the original Clinton's Ditch down in there. A little bit of lock remains from the original Erie Canal. This is some of the oldest locks that I've encountered anywhere, being that the original canal was built in 1819, 1820. I know on the Genesee Valley Canal I was looking at old locks, but those were built about 1840. So these are the earliest locks that I have seen. There's only one wall here. I don't know if we can get across to take a look at it from there. I'll turn the camera back on if I can. I did manage to make it down into this Clinton's Ditch. There's a nice view of the 1820 lock wall. I say that's the earliest lock I've seen. It's the earliest stone remains of a lock that I've seen. I did do a video near Pittsford, New York, which showed the wooden remains that are in the bottom of the lock, and those could be down under here for all we know. But that's the original block wall. (1820). Now we'll head back down the trail, see what else we can find. Continuing down this trail, I think it's going to bring us to what we've come out to see today in our search for aqueduct. You could see that this land here was all low, swampy. This must have been quite a task to bring a canal through this area. Again, on our left here is the 1862 canal. This would probably be the towpath. Drops down into a vast swamp. We are in the Montezuma Wildlife Refuge area. Many acres of low marshland with a river up ahead the canal had to cross. Here it is. We've come upon the aqueduct that we were looking for. We're walking on the towpath, and I'm going to look at the signboard and take some pictures. What we are approaching now was considered an engineering marvel in the 1800s. This is the Richmond Aqueduct, built for the Erie Canal to cross the Seneca River. Construction began in 1849 and was completed in 1856. It consisted of 31 arches spanning almost 900 feet. 110,000 feet of wood pilings were driven into the soft ground to support the arches. It was abandoned and dismantled in 1917. At this time, only 7 arches remained. What you see here is a nice comparison between the 1800s and present day. Right down there is the foundation for the aqueduct. It would have been all covered with wood to carry water across. It went right out across the river. That part was removed when this canal area was abandoned. We walk out to the end of the towpath here. And way off on the other side, there's more stone structure as the aqueduct went completely across this river. I'm going to do an overhead flight so we can see the stone arches underneath the tow. That's it for now. We made it to the Seneca River Aqueduct. So now we got to make our way back to the vehicle, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a good one. One last look at the aqueduct. We're down in the basin of the canal. Looking up at the towpath. And yet another perspective from the other side of the aqueduct, looking over at the towpath.